Hello everyone and welcome back to All Indie. Today we are playing some A Monster's Insight. It's been a while since I played this game. Of course, I think the last time I played this game was when I interviewed Arcade. I do want to try and beat this game. There was a keyword. Skeptic. Did I ask him about? Skeptic. Let's try Skeptic. Oh, you seem to be a clear-cut skeptic to me. So, anyway, before I get started, I should probably finish my thought. I'm really bad at that. I wanted to revisit this game because I liked the concept, and then I got distracted with other games and didn't quite make it back to this one. But I want to come back and I want to try and beat this game if I can. I think you can fail this game. I haven't played it since we talked to Arcade, and I did want to at least showcase like another monster, or yeah, like I said, maybe even just beat the game. So, so here we go. Anyway, you seem to be a clear-cut skeptic to me. I don't go by insignificant labels. Ooh, insignificant labels. All right, fine. But your general inability to accept me being here is fascinating. What I think is that we'll take your beliefs and align them with the axioms of skepticism. Then we can see the differences and break it down. Why would you want to do such a moronic task? I'm competent enough that I can do it, and I want to do it. You're going to tear down everything I say, here to mock me, and relax, Fernweh. You can trust me. You can, Fernweh. No harm will be done to you. Fernweh keeps denying my own existence, which is aggravating to say the least, but I can't convince them that I need to be their siphon if I'm not anything. On what grounds do you think I don't exist? You're here in the chasm. So even if you're real now, you're going to disappear soon. I may see your point here, but I hardly think I'm going to be gone since it's been a while. I know that you know that I'm not going anywhere. And I know that you can't do a thing to me unless the chasm says so. So the only option we have left here is one where I'm a figment of your imagination, which is why I'm not going away. I suppose, yes. If they're just a skeptic in disguise, I merely have to refuse skeptic talking points. This should be enlightening. Ugh. Would you say that me not existing is a byproduct of your metaphysical beliefs? What do you mean? You not believing in me is not anything against me in particular. It's just because you don't believe in reality itself. Making them trust me means I have to trust in this silence. Fernweh's misty form begins to shift. One of their tendril-like legs pulls up a mask. They stare at it for a couple of moments. You wonder how such a great terror could be seen so weak like this. How they could not be shameful or be ashamed of their vulnerability. I certainly wouldn't be able to do that. But how could you? How could I what? How can you truly, sincerely believe in anything? What if this is all an illusion? How can you be certain of anything? Oh, I don't like how the music changed. Knowledge is fallible. Bonds of lovers will break, and time will melt away. The only certainty lies in the uncertain. They form a hideous smile. Hey, buddy. And in the chasm, well, you see, I think you would have a point under the model of a standard analysis for knowledge. There's no way to escape this paradox. You can never truly justify anything. Some foundationalists like to claim there are basic beliefs that the whole world boils down to, like axioms of knowledge. Other coherence theorists like to say knowledge is an interconnections between beliefs, and how beliefs are only credible upon the supposition of others, which is how knowledge works. But we don't know the credibility of others, or whether or not they're real. It doesn't matter if one of them is false. They can all support each other in false ways, so it works. And that's out of the question too. Excuse me. If it isn't something that's intrinsic to the universe, nor is it based on a web of beliefs, then you make no sense. Uh-oh. I mean, well, hang on a moment, I got this. Well, first off, I mean, first, if you reframe what you think knowledge is, then not believing in anything becomes pointless. If we looked at knowledge under a contextualist model, or a default and challenge mode, then things start to make sense. Uh-oh. Because knowledge isn't infallible, but that's the whole point. Knowledge should be made, countered, and remade again. It doesn't possess any divine qualities. Its inherent usefulness is in relation to us, so it doesn't matter if the malevolent demon tricks you, or if this whole world is a simulation, because we can still work within the system. I turn to them. Your claim presupposes foundationalism, which we know to be false, and your conception of experience incorporates the myth of the given. This myth is the assimilation of sapience to sentience, of thought to mere sensation. Or in other words, knowledge of what we perceive can be independent of the conceptual processes which result in perception. It is because of this myth you're able to live in your delusions of a non-existent world. What I'm saying, Fernweh, is that with this in mind, there should be no reason to doubt my existence. What matters is that you can hear and see me in this moment, right? You are saying things I've never heard of. So you couldn't be made from some part of my imagination. Uh-oh. You must be here in the present, or your reasoning couldn't come from my consciousness. Are we gonna win over Fernweh? Nope. Failed. Oh boy. I like all the fails. You know what? I don't believe you. I'm sorry. What did you just... You're an extension of Carte Daemon, here to ruin my life. What? That's not what I'm... Listen here, you think you can convince me to be complacent with my life? I don't think so. Uh-oh. You have disturbed this place for long enough. Uh-oh. I want to hear no more word out of you. But I thought I didn't exist, remember? Shut up! I don't care about what you are. I just want you dead. Witness my wrath, puny insect! Oh no. Oh god. I have to get out of here now. Uh-oh. I could still hear their voice echoing and reverberating across the chasm, a voice so dense and filled with ire that I could feel the air push itself around me. Unfortunately, you failed to win Fernweh's favor, and have lost the first dialogue. But sometimes, you have to live with these failures and push on forward. The story will progress with this outcome. Now that the conversation, all your stats earned during the conversation will be reset to normal. After all, prescience indicates how your interlocutor perceives you. Once you're done seeing them, these stats play no role. All stats gained during the conversation with Fernweh will be reset. Don't worry, all points you assigned beforehand will stay. Here, we can save your progress by overwriting the save in the first file slot. Okay? Would you like to save? Yeah. My game has been saved. Okay. Chapter 2, There's a Heart That Beats as One. In spite of the outcome, one question still lingers on my mind. How did I even get the chasm keyword in the first place? I remember darkness and inky glass-like dripping blotches of nothing, and then I saw a red light. I returned to the present, at the Melduvian River. Fernweh may have been delusional, but they were right about one thing. Only those that are lost can even enter the chasm to begin with, and Fernweh may have called me for the dialogue. But someone called first, someone who gave me the chasm keyword. Maybe they were right. The chasm did call me, and if that were true... Stop. I don't need to go on needless tangents right now. So what if I have doubts? Doesn't everyone? And what does it matter if the chasm called me? I doubt I'll ever see it again. Some questions can't be answered. As you were deep in thought, you turn your head towards the Bahug Bay. Bahug! Across the horizon, you notice a new fair eclipse in the sky. I don't think I've seen this one before. There are signs, voices, and noises relating to the fair surrounding you. Disembodied mouths and screeches from the void start whispering in the ears of passerbys. Need something to relax, something to ease your worries, feeling directionless, losing your heart, tired of feeling it all? Join the fun fair, where all your cares can go to waste. Sign-ups are free. We have free fresca juice and snacks. Advertisements for the fun fair? What kind of snacks do they have? Death, destruction, I don't know. You pick up a cube of goo. You pick up a cube of goo from the dock floor. Snacks include glummy livers, turt salgars, and classic homemade salts and gnats. I love it. Gotta love me the good old fan favorite salts and gnats. Oh, Kichi loves salts and gnats. See? Yeah, who doesn't? If snacks are free, I might as well take the charity. You turn to whisper in one of the disembodied mouths. Hi, you guys are saying something about free snacks? Coming right away. The mouth begins to eat itself and then spins outward from where it was. Interesting. It orbits around an empty point in space whilst simultaneously rotating on an axis. Then it comes to a stop. Open the top of my head. Inside were the snacks I listed on the cube of goo. Glummy livers, turt salgars, and salt and gnats. Please take the fresca juice too. You oblige. Congratulations. Your ceremony of commencement will begin shortly. Pardon, my ceremony of what? Now that you've given in to the desire of delectable dining, we think you're ready. Ready for what? We've always been proud of you. You've been like a son to us. What? The game of catch you couldn't reach, so you fell down, and there was no one to catch your fall. A different mouth approaches you. But now, someone is here to catch the fall. We're here, Gabe. Ready to catch your fall, Gabe. First off, my name isn't Gabe. Secondly, I'm just going to take the snacks and go. No, don't you know? When you join the fun fair, don't you know what happens next? I haven't joined anything. You took the snacks. You're in. I'll return them. The first mouth interrupts the second one. Wait. We apologize. Perhaps you weren't ready. We're sorry we let you down, our sweet little child. What? At least will you attend orientation day? For what? A fun fair? Oh, the fun fair is a one-off event for the core mayhem? For the core mayhem, who is all and one. Unfair. Wait. The core mayhem? Oh, yes. Sorry, we should have led with that first. Core mayhem is a collective hive mind. Instead of terror or brute force, they've infected other worlds to conquer them. Offering free snacks at a quasi-carnival wouldn't be how I imagined running into one. So, orientation is what again? Well, we would introduce you to the philosophies of the Vinakava and say why you should join us. Sounds reasonable. That may be true. But if I don't join, they will certainly kill me. And if I don't agree to the orientation, they'll kill me too. Just my lucky day. But maybe I can turn this into my favor. I was wondering, would it be possible to meet Core Mayhem? Oh no, you don't understand. Core Mayhem is all of us. Core Mayhem is one. Core Mayhem is all. Core Mayhem is me. And Core Mayhem is you. So right now I'm talking to Core Mayhem? Yes. I don't think any of your Vinakava lackeys are going to convince me. If I'm doing an orientation, I need to hear it from the core of the hive mind himself. Interesting. Nobody cares to meet the ones who started it all. And if you meet Core Mayhem, you will consider joining the Vinakava, yes? Most definitely not. Most definitely not, but I need to get out of this conversation. What time works for you? Oh, you know. Well, how about tomorrow? That also works. Good. They drop to the floor and then dissolve. Of course, why wouldn't they? I think I can get out of this one, maybe? I don't know, man. Fernweh kicked her ass. Talked circles around us. I'm sorry? You did what now? Trust me, Kichi. This is going to be a good thing. I don't have a problem with the whole joining a collective hive mind thing. That's your choice. But meeting Core Mayhem? What possible reason could you have for doing that? I didn't do the best with Fernweh, but I need to move on from that. To something undeniably more dangerous? Yeah, sure, why not? I didn't die last time, so I better stay on my lucky streak of living. Why would Core Mayhem ever let you be their siphon? They're a collective hive mind. They have better things to do. One mind or many. Everyone has their secrets. And everyone can be exploited with insight. Oh, I also got you some snacks. Salts and gnats? Ooh. Wait. Aren't you distracting me from the current issue at hand? No. Me? Never. I take the salts and gnats over the hearth and start sizzling them. Kichi stops and starts drooling over its four mouths. Tart salgars, when smoked and dusted, can act as a good seasoning over glummy livers. I start preparing the dish on top of the hearth and in the compressing chamber. Whilst the food is being molded and heated, I take out the Fresca juice and make 2 glasses, in a small shot glass for Kichi, and a medium-sized one for me. The glummy livers look a little underbaked, so I set it alight and re-squeeze its juices. Of course. So, what are you going to do? I'm going to try my best to convince them to let me be their siphon. I'm not talking about that. And how are you going to win Cormayam's favor? Look, I think it's time to eat. I plate the seasoned glummy livers and salts and gnats. They wibble and swim around. Don't sweat a thing, Kichi. I got this. And I have some time to prep for tomorrow. Tomorrow is in a few lunar hours, correct? I know. You have a location? Yeah, I know where I need to go. No worries. By the way, if you want help, the Gnarg works at the Zooker. Thank you, Kichi. We ate the rest of our meal in silence. I turned off the noise machine to ease the room, but the only thing we heard that night were the noises from outer world and the cries from the blackened skies. With nothing better to do, I pick up the papers on the floor and start reading them. Headline: Morgo, the Destroyer of Worlds, has recently been granted the standing of Great Terror. After the crusade against the Planktonian dimension, he has now accumulated enough cult of followers to earn the title. Great Terrors are indifferent to this change. Old Terrors are disturbed, and Dark Terrors want him dead. I got 1 point. 1 point's left to reassign to stats. Dope. Charisma. Let's do 1 reputable, I guess. I can continue reading to gain more points, or you can scout for information to gain keywords. Let's scout. Nah, to hell with that goblin. Or the globlin. Globin? There we go. Go to the Zilker. Flesh deep into Moorongo. I see the Zooker Bar hunched over. I can't wait. Some people are going to tell me I mispronounced all these names. Just as I walk up to the entrance, I notice a sign. Unfortunately, it says they're closed. I walk to the drawing shop across the street, hoping to just cool down. I ask for a yuxing of my horn and a drawing of my whores. Unexpectedly, I saw an Aortish walk into the bar, bearing the marks of the Vinakava. They skim the room in silence before quickly leaving. I ask collective. I ask the dryer what that was about. She tells me that all collectives assign their members certain tasks. Apparently, the Vinakava have been coming here every hour to try and recruit new members, almost desperately. After splitting my back, she lets me leave with the bill. Maybe I'll bring Kichi here for a dry. Well, fine. Now the Silver-Tongued will attempt to win the favor of the interlocutor, Cormayam, where one is all. I knew that orientation would take place in the Topoetic orb above the Moorongo soulless border. The mouths and voices from last time were there to greet me and ask me to don a new robe. And then they beckoned me to float into the orb floating above Moorongo. The Topoetic orb structure, like a mechanical puzzle, began to undo itself. When the entrance opened, the orb resembled a sphere with a slice taken out. I went inside. Gross. After navigating the multiple vessels in the canals, I finally arrived to the core. This core room is the abode of Cormayam, the mind of the hive mind, or the heart of the Vinakava collective. And attached to the top of the ceiling, there's no other than the heart itself. When I took a step On the ground, the Cardian floor jumped, and Cormayam immediately knew I was there. Slowly, they began to descend from the ceiling. My man, you is ugly. I hate to say it, you is ugly. You real ugly. Hovering above me, their cords of arteries and veins fall. Hovering above me, their cords of arteries and veins fall delicately past them like strands of hair. Silver-tongued. Are you ready for orientation? Always have been. Good to hear. They crack a wicked smile that splits their face in two. That's gross. Now, we here also want to make you do a little survey before we start orientation. We hope this is fine with you. Sure? I feel a quake underneath my feet. Please take a step back. I do so, and from where I was once standing, the floor caves into a hole, which then forms into a mouth-like shape. The floor ejests something into the room. A yellow and white bile floats in the room, free of gravity. Gross. Ugh. As I was in awe, the hole starts closing itself up by pulling in the meaty floor that surrounds it. Ugh, similar to quicksand. As it does so, the bile transforms into a smectic. A state where it crystallizes to form a piece of paper. Oh, we just want to know if you have any allergies, friends or family you care about, or salt on you. I like how it's like, hey, and could we also have your email address, your physical address, and your hobbies? But also, this is about if you've joined any hive minds in the past, how long you've existed as a singleton, etc. Is there some kind of writing device I can use? Look up, silver-tongued. Above me, I see a black artery descend from the ceiling. Ugh. Squeeze it to get some ink out of it. Ugh. Continue squeezing and press it as you write. Ugh. 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 This imagery is so gross. After a few minutes, I'm done filling out the survey. What will this be used for? We thank you very much for your cooperation. Now we're sure you have a lot of questions, which will be answered in due time. Ooh, suspicious of me, you say. However, we were very curious to learn more about you. How come? Why, of all the people we've recruited, you're the only one who started making demands. And the only one to make a reasonable demand at that, to see us. Sometimes amongst the multitude of faces, you singletons fail to grasp our reality. Singletons being a collective's word for those who are not in a hive mind, sure. And it is because you don't understand us that we have this gap in understanding. If only you could understand why everyone would want to be in the Vinakava. And in your individualistic world, you think in singleton ways. You cannot comprehend our multitude, our numbers, nor our omnipotent presence. No, you need something to center those ideas in a singular being. You really think of yourself as the root of everything. Yeah, that's a great way to start. I don't know if I'm grasping your concepts any better. What an incredible intuition! Why, is that sarcasm? No. We couldn't be happier that you seem so impressed. I don't know if my ears deceived me, but I feel as if they're repressing something. Regardless, we hope that you and us can come to an understanding somewhere. There must be some foundation for mutual trust. After all, why are you at the fun fair? I was lost. Lost? We think we've heard of such a thing before. All the more you should come join us. Here we will grant you the purpose you desperately need. You wouldn't want to get whisked away by that dreadful being. What was their name again? Fernweh of the Lost. Ah, yes! Imagine if you had ran into them. What a disaster it would be. Oh, please do tell me, what would have happened? Let's just say you wouldn't be alive right now. Clearly they missed the mark with this one. Yeah, you know. Guess who's standing in the flesh right now? Yeah. But we just want to understand why. How should we put it? Why would you insist on meeting with us if you have no intention on joining the Vinakava? Our time and resources are precious. You're costing us a lot of it. What exact resources are you expending by talking to me? Wow! Ha ha! You have a lot of audacity to go ahead and asking us doltish questions like that. Rapture. Everything about the rapture needs to be measured precisely, done with the utmost concentration. The rapture? Cormam's body is pulsating at 2 different speeds. It's like 2 things are struggling for control. It's why all of us bother living at all. Seeking the rapture is one of the wise decisions in a balance, for we should something... I didn't catch that last part. Ha ha ha, silly, silly. Why are we talking when we can show them for what it is? Let me. The lights are out, and their face begins to contort itself. Ugh. Looks like blood stopped moving through its limbs and veins, then it awakes once again. Our sincerest apologies for what you just saw. A silence steps into the chamber, lingering over both you and your interlocutor. Before we begin, we were wondering a few more things. Please. What is the most lacking thing in your life? What is the one thing you wish you could change? Because there would be no other reason why anyone would join us if they didn't want to leave something behind. You feel entitled to know this? You feel entitled to come to the core of the Vinakava, Cormam, and demand a meeting from us? So the least you can do is to answer our questions. They're pushing back. This isn't exactly a great sign. I don't know if I could be fully honest. More power to add to what I already have. He's a hive mind. This could be like the worst one. More power to add to... Well, sure. When will your thirst for power ever be satiated? Don't you see you'll never be satisfied? To that I ask, when will you stop looking for new members to join the Vinakava? Will your thirst for an expanding hive mind ever be satiated? It isn't about the number of recruits, silver-tongued. Uh-oh, you seem mad. Apathetic body language. Ugh. It's about making a difference in the world, elevating this world to new heights, showing the way where others have been shown before. It's about liberation of the singleton people, your kind of people, so that you can advance your minds your minds to greater use. Which would be what else but the lack of pain? Pain? Some new limbs of Cormam begin attaching themselves to the ceiling. We think it would be an appropriate time to give a tour of the Cardian. Cardian is the name of the orb that we're currently inside. I start walking towards the exit, adjusting the fabrics of my clothes on the way out. I notice that Cormam doesn't follow me and remains attached to the chamber's ceilings. Are you to come with me? We, as Cormam, cannot move from this chamber, but we, as the Vinakava, can give a quick tour. Interesting. The hovering mouths from before appear in front of me. Both the mouths and the beating Cormam speak in tandem. If you could follow us, please. Certainly. Instead of taking me out of the chamber, they move me to the opposite side of the room. Tubes, veins, and arteries fall down from the ceiling and start to take a life of their own. All of them are drawn to me as if we were magnets. Wait, hold on. What's happening? Who said you were leaving this room for the tour? Please allow yourself to be connected to our network. Oh, no. No, of course they'll find any opportunity to connect me to the hive mind. Does this mean it's over before it even started? What exactly are you doing? We're going to show you projections from our collective mind. It's easier to just see visualizations rather than go through all the trouble of walking around. Oh. I don't know. As you can feel the tubes suck at your skin pores, a thought crosses through your mind. Wait. If they're showing projections from their mind, that means I can use insight. But no, as much as I can see what's in their mind, they can also see what's in mine. So they'll know that I can traverse their mind and may suspect something. Cormam's main form descends from the ceiling again. Time is running out. Use insight. Oh no, I forgot how to do these. Cormam, Cor, and Mayam. Cor assimilate with us. Mayam assimilate with us. We are one. Don't you see? Nobody can discover that we are two minds. Nobody. Make sure nobody knows that answer. Place an answer here. Start typing text below. Two minds. Oh, there we go. What on earth? So that means... And finally, there's our ritual site, which is, have you been listening to us at all? Who are you? Exactly what we said we are. We are the Cormam. No, I asked, who are you? The both of you. The both? I'm sorry, I don't think we understand. What's this look, man? Don't pull this game with me. You both know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, pray tell, if we could ever understand what you're talking about. How would you have been able to get such information? Trying to deflect the blame onto me, we'll see. Hooking me up to your brains, plural, was a good start, so you shouldn't be surprised that I could get that information. Did you turn off the mainframe connector? I'm certain we did. Incompetent moron. Listen, I don't know what you saw, since when did they start using singular pronouns, but you must have mistaken all of the overload of sensory information for a crazy conspiracy. Are you intoxicated? Maybe under the influence of damaging substances? Because frankly, I would have no idea as to how you can make such a connection. It's funny, isn't it? Because I never explicitly stated what I saw. Oh, you didn't, did you? Nope. But I know that you know what I saw, so I think that you know what I'm talking about. And if that's the case, then my surprise, my shock, isn't so unfounded, is it? You're a failure. So why don't you go ahead and say it? You're made of two separate beings. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I'm saying it like it is. Fair enough. I just wouldn't understand why you would try to hide such a thing. It's not that we're hiding it, we're just parts of the hive mind ourselves. We can't afford to be broken into more ways. Our core and mayhem still... But if you'd rather hear it from me in my words, yes, we are hive mind. Yes, we are also two singleton souls weaved together. Yes, we are core and mayhem, where two is all. Oh no. Last time this music happened, I got destroyed. I noticed that their colors changed, where now there is a distinct line between the two halves, one with a greater red hue and the other with a blue hue instead. Even though they're undeniably connected, they also look more fractured than before. This is Mayhem speaking. I am core, where once there was a unity or a plethora of voices, now each half of core Mayhem sound distinct and clear, almost like two separate singletons' voices. There, satisfied? No. More and more and more and more. You can go back to being one? Thank you. I see. Just as quickly as they separated, they fused back together. From this first impression, I can say this. Core seems to be interested in something flashy, eye-catching, or captivating. You'll need to get their attention and appeal to their immediate emotions and instincts. Mayhem seems to be the one in charge of reason and logic. It will need to think I'm trustworthy in order for me to be in their favor. Maybe being too charismatic could make you come cross. Okay. As a sycophant? Sure. Don't tell us that we need to entertain you any longer. Now, we think it's best to answer those burning questions you have, the ones you traveled all the way for. Questioning will now begin. Okay, and with that... Oh no. Ooh, instead all questions will be asked to the collective. Or perhaps you can ask about non-keywords too. Be warned, because once you've asked a question about a keyword, that's it. You cannot go back to it. Do I have anything else left to ask? Alright. And with that, I'm going to end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate it. If you're an indie dev, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. Thank you all so much for watching again, and I hope you come watch the next one. Take care.